Hello, everyone, and welcome to a command prompt explanation. My name is Zach Tedder. I am an engineer at Command Prompt, and over the past year, I've been doing a deep dive into Citus, and I'm excited to explain to you today a high-level overview of what Citus is and what it's about. So when we talk about databases, normally the ones we're referring to are databases on single machines, or as Citus refers to them, as a node. And as you acquire more data, it starts to scale up vertically, is how they refer to it. But the problem with that sometimes, if you have a lot of data, is that you're going to run into limitations on storage and memory and other resources as well. So the idea of Citus is then to stop scaling vertically, stop scaling up in the same node, but then to start scaling horizontally and spreading the data across, or distributing the data across different nodes. And in doing that, then each node has its own storage, has its own memory, has its own resources to then query that data, making it much quicker if you're reaching those limitations on the single node. So the best way that I can think to describe this visually is think of your database as a diamond. And I'm using this specifically because when you break that diamond apart, it is broken up into different shards. And that is what Citus refers to its data chunks as little shards of data. So then once the diamond or the database is broken up into different shards, we can place those shards onto the different nodes so we know exactly where the data is that we want. So then when we query for data, let's say we have three different cafes, right? So cafe 1, cafe 2, and cafe 3. When you query for data from cafe 1, then it's the query goes directly to that node and only uses that node's resources to collect that data and present it back to the coordinator node, which is the one that does all the final aggregations. So if you then actually queried all the data, it would again come back together and look just like a diamond. You'd see the full database. So in continuing with our explanation on different cafes, if you need to, let's say, find the inventory for each cafe individually, you can do that. You query store 1 and get all the inventory data there, as well as store 2 and store 3. You'll get all of that specific data for each one of those cafes. Or you can collectively look at all of them and see the inventory for all the cafes at once. But either way, whenever you query a specific cafe, you're only going to be using the resources for that node where the data resides for that cafe, making things go much more quickly. And again, utilizing those resources much more efficiently for a very large growing data set. So this has been a high-level overview of Citus, what it is, and what it's for. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, there is our website, commandprompt.com. We have a 3-part series on getting started with Citus, as well as tons of other tips and tricks and tutorials. And there's even a new education section with lots of little Easter eggs and fun things to learn about. I hope you found this informative and got what you needed out of it for Citus. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon.